Hey guys, it's Richard. We're back for another episode of Doom and Gloom. I've been thinking about changing the name of this channel to Doom and Gloom because that seems like all we talk about these days is just how bad things are and how bad things are getting. Well, this video is not going to be much different, but I need to bring this out to your attention. So yesterday, I had a subscriber reach out and ask a couple questions about what my thoughts were about the November elections and moving forward, DeSantis versus Trump, and then someone else specifically asked you what I thought about how quickly things are going to fall apart and what's going to happen in the near future. And so let's kind of tie those together for just a moment. We are at a turning point, one way or another. We're at a turning point because either things are going to get better or things are going to get much, much worse very quickly. And when I talk about getting much worse, I'm talking about the destruction of the United States. And because that's where we're at in November. That's how serious the November elections are. If we could hold fair and honest elections, which isn't going to happen in my opinion, but if we could hold fair and honest elections, I think we would be okay. But I don't know, because there are still plenty of people out there on the left that just think it's a great idea to destroy the country. So what are you talking about, Richard? So what I'm talking about is, what am I talking about? I'm talking about if the left gets control or maintains control of the House and the left gets control of the Senate, and then you've got the puppet master occupying the White House, pulling the strings there's nothing to stop the left from doing whatever they want to do. Now, we still have the Supreme Court, which can provide some oversight if someone brings forth lawsuits, and they would, and it gets elevated to that point. But the problem with that is a lot of folks on the left, they're not even abiding by the law. Then they're certainly not abiding by what the Supreme Court has to say. And furthermore, there's a lot of people on the left that have been calling for the abolishment of the Supreme Court because they see that as a roadblock, right? And they want to remove that so they have just supreme power, supreme control, unstoppable, so they can push through their agenda. That's what we're facing in November. Now, I just saw yesterday, I guess up in Alaska, former Governor Sarah Palin, popular name, you probably remember her, was running for a House seat in Alaska, and she lost to a Democrat. And apparently that hasn't been done. The Democrat hasn't held the House seat there in something like, 40 years or 50 years? So that's significant. That's a significant event, because that is just showing you how something where you would make assumptions that, if a Republican has held the House seat there for the last 40, 50 years, it should be a gimme, especially someone like former Governor Sarah Palin, who, from what I understand, did a really good job governing the state, hasn't had too much scandal around her that I have heard, seems to be pretty popular, and she didn't win. So then you got to look at all the other elections that's going to be taking place here in the free state of Florida. Just last night, or was it early this morning? Was it Senator Crist? Yeah, Senator Crist announced his resignation from House. Is he a House member? I don't know. That's how important he is to me. He's a Democrat. He just resigned abruptly, because he is the Democratic nominee to run against Governor DeSantis here in the state of Florida. And, he thinks he's got a fighting chance because, he's already telling, Republican voters that voted for Trump or DeSantis that don't even show up. He doesn't want your vote, and he wants nothing to do with you, basically. But he thinks he's got a fighting chance here in Florida. Now, Governor DeSantis is the most popular governor in the United States of America. And he captures national headlines all the time because of some of his policies and some of his pushback and the things that he's doing here in the state of Florida. And I can tell you as a resident, everybody that I know of here in the state of Florida loves Governor DeSantis because of how he conducted himself through the whole, well, let's just say the last 2 years. We call it the free state of Florida because we are open and we weren't shut down. And he pushed back on, mandates, and he's pushing back on ESG and all these other just terrible ideas that are just running rampant throughout the United States. He's pushed back on them. And we live a pretty good life down here in Florida because of that man right there. And the left is extremely scared of the guy. They rank him right up there next to Trump. They don't like him. They don't want anything to do with him because for what he stands for and how popular he is. If for some reason he loses his re-election, we're done. we're done. There's a lot of people moving here. Florida, the growth here in Florida is just crazy. We can't keep up with the growth because of so many people leaving places like California and New York, all those blue states, tired of what's going on there, tired of all that nonsense, and they're moving to Florida because Florida has become just such a popular place. And with all of that wound up, come November, if for some reason he doesn't win his re-election, that's your indicator. The United States is going to fall. Or it's going to look like the United States fell. There's not going to be much left. There'll be a little bit because it's been prophesied that the United States isn't going to fall, but it's going to be real close. That's your indicator that's going to happen. That's your indicator that it's going to happen very, very quickly. If the left gets control of the Senate, it's over with. Okay, it's going to happen at a very rapid pace moving forward. 3 months, 6 months, it's going to happen very quickly. It's not going to be a long, drawn-out process because they've got plans in place right now of all the things that they want to do. That's just going to restrict, take away our rights, and impose all kinds of nastiness upon us. That's the plan. And you bet when they get control, they're going to try to get it all done at once. What else? Yeah. But I said it's a turning point. If for some reason, and I wouldn't use Florida as a benchmark, because if DeSantis does get reelected, great, he should, as long as it's not stolen, he should, without any problem at all. If for some reason the Republicans manage to squeeze out a win in the House and the Senate, and it's not looking good for the House at all, but if we manage to squeeze out a win in both places, that's a significant turning point. Because now the Republicans can largely control what the president is able to do and not do. And if we have a good Speaker of the House, that person should pursue impeachment of both the president and the vice president and remove them from power, which would then instill the Speaker of the House to become the president of the United States, which means Republicans would be back in charge and we could begin to start cleaning up this mess. So November 3rd, that's the turning point. That's going to determine our way forward. That's going to determine the survival of the United States. So how does that relate to you and your preps? I've had people saying, well, I'm prepping, slowly, I'm doing what I can, and I respect that and understand it. Most of us are in such a budget crunch, we can only do a little at a time. Just keep doing it. Don't stop. In fact, cut corners where you can, squeeze out a few extra bucks, buy another bag of rice, and just keep doing that. There are people out there that have a healthy budget, that have a significant savings, that can certainly afford to go drop, a couple of dimes to go really get stocked up on more than just food, but medical preps and everything else. And they're just kind of sitting on their money. And it's going to be too bad, too sad. Because by the time things fall apart and then they decide they better go out and do some shopping, there just may not be anything left. So I encourage you, if you got a healthy budget, hey, reach out to me personally if you need some guidance. You know, I'll help you spend that money. But I tell you, it's just, you got to get ready. You can't wait till November 3rd to make your decision of whether or not you should start getting ready or whether or not you need to increase your preps. If you can afford it, do it now. And for all of you that have reached out to me that are on strict budgets and that are, you know, living on fixed incomes and things like that, you know, my heart goes out to you. My heart does. I'm in a pretty good position right now. We've been prepping for a couple of years, and we've managed to put away a nice little amount that makes us hopeful for the future, no matter what comes. But I can't imagine all those people, all of you that are just getting started, that are on a very strict budget already. You know, that there can strike fear in a man's heart, and I pray for you. I do, and I ask all our viewers to pray for this country and to pray for those good folks out there that are doing the best they can, that they might be able to continue to do the best they can. Hey, you know what? That's it for this rant. There'll be another one shortly, so stick around. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're new here, thanks for trusting me. I'll see you in the next video.